question so I know how to answer.
Okay. Sometimes people want to hold leadership over the years, and some need to be told before they seek a position. What motivated you to run for president, and how will that affect your involvement if you aren't elected?
I guess my initial thought for running for president really began, I guess it sparked my interest in the fall just because I'd never been on e-board before and I had a lot of kind of opinions, and I was just seeing things done in certain ways that I was always brainstorming what my role could be in the future. And I was always, throughout PACN, it was never about being president. It was never about like working or campaigning towards that. But as the end of PACN approached and we kind of looked at like what the year was going to look like, upon reflecting on all the events and PACN overall, I think it really motivated me to want to stick with this club for as long as I could, because I really believe in everything that we've achieved so far, and I have a lot of ideas and plans for everything that we can achieve. Not being elected president, I think I would definitely try for another position on this board just because I could never see myself being at USC without being involved in Troy Phi. As I've said, it's had a huge impact on my college experience here, and I would definitely want to prolong it as long as possible. Yeah. Hi.
How do you plan to foster community within e-board?
I definitely think that, like I said, starting the year off with a sense of openness and making sure that everybody knows that all lines for communication are always open and everyone's opinion is always respected is definitely something I want to foster at the start of the year. Overall in eBoard, I think we really bonded just generally over the year, but I think having more socials and just honestly having more collaboration and involvement for everybody in every event. So like tailgates shouldn't just rely on social share. Everybody should have a role in that, and I think bonding through that work and that collaboration is really what's going to strengthen our board, first and foremost, but also socials that are like scheduled probably every month. Yeah.
Hey. So I wanted to ask, like, so in your speech you mentioned you were going to be unconventional in the way that you were going to like do backwards and not have a vision, because usually or potentially visions are like very unrealistic. So what is your realistic vision of like your realistic vision for next year, like explicitly, like what do you see like the club becoming, and what, you know what I mean?
I didn't when I said it's unrealistic for me, I meant that like there are a lot of people who think that putting on a lot of like my overall vision, I think I said it in my speech, is just to foster this space where everybody feels as included and as heard as possible. And I think every year that's something that the president of Troy Phi always tries to do. But I think that we kind of get lost in that because we try to put on all these other events, like we try to do a lot of community outreach and like just try to like, I guess, revamp the picture of Troy Phi and our reputation on this campus, that we kind of get lost, like not being able to form the bonds that we want to. So I guess my overall vision concisely is to make Troy Phi a place where people can connect with one another as comfortably as possible. And maybe we've done that, maybe a lot of you have felt like we've done that this year, but in speaking to a few members and during PACN, I don't think that that's something that's fully been fostered. So that's what I would say.
You want to go first? Okay.
You have 1 minute.
Angeline. So PACN is obviously really stressful, and it's a lot to like lead the whole club to meet this one goal. And so something I noticed with you is that when things got hard, you like had a tendency to kind of almost shut down or snap. And so that's not necessarily something that you would need in a leadership position. So my question is, how would you adjust to be the better leader in situations that are hard?
Yeah. I totally 100% agree with that statement. For one thing, I will say that doing PACN overall kind of requires this sense of like, you kind of have to be short a little bit sometimes when you're commanding a group of 60 people. Not commanding, but leading a group of 60 people like that. But I will say that there's value in those emotions and that sense of frustration I feel, because it shows that I really care, that I'm human, and I think it makes me relatable, which is what we need in a leader. But like I said in my speech, I'm always working towards more growth and learning more about myself. And I think this upcoming year in a leadership position, I'm definitely going to take more of a stance when I step back and really reflect and check my pride, and then kind of constructively communicate what I'm feeling to other people in a way that's less threatening and more conducive to whatever goal we're trying to achieve, whether that's by seeing both sides of the story more clearly, understanding my own perspective, and just checking my feelings overall. But like I said, I'm always growing, I'm always learning about myself in that way, and I think it's just, something I definitely strongly will work on.
We have 3 more questions.
Hi, Angeline. So in your speech, you talked a lot about PACN and the camaraderie and like the great things that happen because of that. But PACN is not all of Troy Fight, and it does happen the second half of the year. So do you have any concrete plans for how you want to communicate the love and community of Troy Fight starting from the get-go in fall semester?
Yeah, I think I said in my speech that I do want to, my main goal this year is to promote that sense of inclusivity and camaraderie beyond PACN starting in the fall semester. And I think one way we can do that is by really strengthening our socials, specifically by kind of divvying up the tasks of being social chair between 2 positions potentially, just to better cater towards diverse member interests and needs. So like say that being social chair is a lot of work, and putting on tailgates and parties is already a lot of work, but we did lack a lot in hikes and like eating socials, like just general like hanging out socials. So I think it's through socials that you really feel involved, included, and bonded. So that is probably my main concrete plan, other than kind of doing more activities during GMs where people feel comfortable talking about themselves rather than forcing like kind of icy icebreakers on people all the time.
Hi, Angeline. My question is, besides for president, it's not only like doing a lot of like logistical work and making sure that everyone's like on top of their stuff, but also managing your board in terms of like relationships. How would
Right.
you handle tension within your board, and how would you foster like communication in order to resolve the issues right away?
Right, so I think that is a lot about being open. So I think that's what I was talking about when I was talking about making it feel less hierarchical. Because I think the reason why communication doesn't feel open sometimes is because there is this sense on board that this person is more important than this person. So I think restructuring kind of the way we look at our board overall will kind of help foster, or will kind of set the stage to better, I guess, solve those conflicts. Can you repeat like the last part of your question, or the overall question?
How would you foster communication so that like conflicts are resolved like right away instead of like festering?
Right, so I think that is all in like, kind of plays a role in open group chats and not letting anything go behind closed doors. So that means that during e-board meetings and retreats, like really fostering this sense of you can be heard, like no matter what your opinion is. We all know that you're doing it for the greater good of Troy Phi, whether you're PACN or social chair, whatever. So I think really emphasizing that fact and then starting the year off like that would, I think, allow for better communication going forward.
Last question.
What makes you different from previous presidents, and what core values do you represent that can make Troy Phi home to a lot of members?
I think what makes me different from a lot of presidents is that I've always made an effort to relate to every single one of you. Obviously, presidents in the past have done that, but I think that was never like my goal, but I always tried to connect with all of you, and I always kind of tried to, so I'll talk about my core values. I really value support. I really value leading with honor rather than leading with pride. And I think that's something that I really want to focus on this year, is that I never want to be the person that's always like just sitting around, bossing you around, but I always want to be there to foster whatever you believe that this club can achieve. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.